Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my Rustic Makeover Series marathon. Earlier in the year, we actually went to my best friend's house in southern Utah to help them transform 4 different rooms into completely new spaces. One of the rooms is her son and daughter's shared bedroom, another one is her home office, and we also tackled her pantry and kitchen, as well as my friend and her husband's master bedroom. We also have done a makeover on their laundry closet in the past, so I'm going to be including that in this makeover marathon as well. So in today's video, I'm going to be compiling all of those makeover episodes into one super long marathon video so you can put it up on your TV or your tablet or your phone and just watch the entire makeover series without having to flip onto different videos or find the next episode. This makeover series was one of my favorites that we've done because of the huge impact it made for my friend's family, and I hope that you really love it too. In the past several months, our family moved to Arizona, so we actually have some new makeover series coming in the next few months at our house and also over in my sister's home who lives here in Arizona near us. So make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss out on those upcoming videos, and when you're done watching this video, let me know in the comments which of these episodes was your favorite. And also let me know which of my makeover series has been your favorite so far. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoy this video and I hope it gets you excited to see all of the new upcoming makeover series that I have coming out soon. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode number 1 in a brand new makeover series. This makeover series is going to be a little bit more rustic decor themed. I am so excited to be sharing this with you guys. I'm actually standing in the first room that we are tackling, which is going to be a shared kids bedroom. They have a little girl and a little boy, and we are going to make this room feel, of course, very functional because that is like the #1 thing that I focus on during makeovers. We are also going to make it all kind of look very cohesive, and we are also going to be giving them their own individual spaces. So I cannot wait to tackle this one. I know it's going to turn out amazing. And I also wanted to share the other rooms that we are going to be doing in the series. So we have, like I said, the shared bedroom, and then we are also going to be doing a home office, also their pantry, which is going to be an incredible transformation, along with our master bedroom. So we have a lot to share, not only today, but just throughout the series. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. I wanna hear you say, So here you can see the before of their bedroom. As you can see, they do have 2 different wall colors. Actually, they have 3 different wall colors. They had a purple for their little girl and a green color for their little boy, and then just the regular kind of like tan color, which is the base color in their home. And I also am going to insert some clips right here of a few changes that were actually made off camera prior to me doing this makeover, but they were things that when we were going through the room originally and I was kind of telling them my plans for the space, I had asked them if they would be willing to make a few changes, including actually making the ladder more sucked up to the bed like a traditional bunk bed, because the ladder originally was really jutting out into the room and actually taking up a lot of really valuable space. And I also asked if they would add a few boards to the bottom of the bunk bed just to kind of cover up the mattress, and those few changes actually made a really big impact on the room, so I really wanted to make sure to go ahead and just share those with you guys. So I first wanted to start out by clearing everything out of the room and just go ahead and start with a clean slate. Plus I knew that we needed to make room so that we could paint the room. Like I had mentioned, they do have a few different wall colors, and I really wanted to make this a really neutral wall color and just a really bright space because they don't have the best lighting in this bedroom, and they also only have the one window. And another thing I was planning on doing in this room was painting the crib, which I will talk about a little bit later on. So we needed to take that apart to get it out of the room to paint as well. So I wanted to share really quickly about the giveaway that will be going on throughout this makeover series. So we are giving away $200 cash. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed to my channel because this is a subscriber giveaway. Just another way that I'm able to give back to you guys because I am so thankful for you guys being a part of this YouTube family. And then also make sure you leave a comment on all 4 of the videos in this series. All of the links for those videos will be down below in the description box once each video is posted. And as always, I will have all of those details written down below for you guys in the description box. So before you go, make sure you entered and good luck. So another thing that we did in this space that made a really large impact was to take out the closet doors. Now I did check with them prior to doing this, of course, but I really felt like taking the closet doors off could really give them more useful space in the bedroom and also make the space feel a lot larger, kind of making the closet just an extension of the room. And I also had the plan of moving the dresser into the closet just to make a lot more space for the kids to play and enjoy this room. And so with doing that, I did need to take the doors off. So we just ended up going ahead and taking off all the hardware and taking off all the doors. And in the end, it really made the closet so much more functional because the door that they had on the closet was a sliding door. And so you could really only access half of the closet at a time, and it just kind of made it a bit of a pain, as I learned from talking to my friend. And so this just really made a big difference in the space. But once we got those closet doors off, we went ahead and just started clearing everything out of the closet because again, we are going to go ahead and paint the closet on the inside as well. So we have almost everything taken out of their closet. A lot of this stuff is all going to be coming back in. Some of this stuff is going to be coming back in too, but like she has all of her daughter's clothes folded in here. And so I don't want to just like go set them on the couch and have them all unfolded. So we are going to be doing, of course, a cube organizer in here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and just set up some of these cube organizers and then stick the clothes into these so that they're like all contained and they can stay folded. And then we will go ahead and get this little armoire dresser thing taken out. So once we got everything taken off the walls and also everything in the closet cleared out, we just went ahead and prepped the walls for paint, and we decided to paint all of the walls in here the Benjamin Moore Revere Pewter color. That is the same color that is throughout our entire house here in Utah, and we just love that color. I feel like it is the perfect grayish color, as they call it, but it's basically like the perfect mix of gray and beige, which is awesome because it's going to be really neutral, but it's also going to match really any color palette. So they had a lot of browns and really warm tones in here, but we are also going to be adding in some grays and blacks and just like more cooler tones and navies and things like that. And so we wanted to do something that was going to match the brown, but also be able to transition and match the gray tones as well. Alright, so we have everything taken out of the room aside from the big bunk bed or loft bed and this dresser, just because it's going to stay in the room. We didn't take the bunk bed out because you actually have to take it apart to fit it through the door, so we are just going to kind of work around it as we are painting. But we do have everything off the wall, and I'm just going to kind of dust along the wall and make sure there's no like cobwebs or anything or any dust hanging out. And then I'm going to go ahead and tape. And we actually got frog tape for the first time. We're gonna try it out and see how it goes. Hopefully we'll have some good luck with that. A lot of you guys said it's totally worth the extra money. So we are actually going to be painting their walls, every single wall, including in their closet. We are going to be painting it the same wall color as our house, which is Benjamin Moore Revere Pewter. And then they also do have a purple wall and a green wall. Like it's kind of washed out right there. There it is. So we are going to paint that as well, and then instead of painting like a whole wall to kind of separate their spaces, we are just going to be adding like different decor pieces to kind of separate their spaces, but all the decor does match. So even though it's going to be like Kinsley and Landon's decor, they will be different, but they will still look cohesive, and the room will just look really nice and put together. So let's go ahead and start Swiffering the walls and taping.
I know you're gold all on your own, but we keep shining in the light. Out with our friends, I keep thinking it's only us in here tonight. I know that you're not looking for somebody, but let me be the one tonight. Don't need to suffer through some heartache. Just let me be the one tonight. Be the one tonight. Be the one tonight. Be the one tonight. Your eyes hold mine 1, 2, 3 times. It's no coincidence we stayed.
All right, we finally have everything taped off, and also just this little plastic barrier to kind of keep it off the carpet. We have all of that paint prep work done, and we are ready to start painting.
Be the one tonight. Be the one tonight.
Waiting on the edge of this moment, holding out for something golden. Found a light on a hill. I was waking up, looking for peace in a world that's divided. Gotta hold on tight when you find it.
So as you might notice a little bit later on, I ended up getting paint on the back of me a little bit, just like on my pants. And I was honestly so shocked because I have painted countless rooms in my lifetime, and I don't think I've really ever got paint on my clothes, but because we were in pretty tight quarters with the bunk bed being right in the middle of the room, I ended up getting it on myself, and I'm just hoping that there's a way I can get it out of my clothes. I'm usually able to get most things out of clothes, but if you have any tips for getting paint out of clothing, definitely let me know in the comments and leave me any tips. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. So anytime we have painted walls, you guys pretty much have always seen us use this little painting tool, and I believe it's called an Edger Pro. Don't quote me on that, but I will link it down below. We just always pick it up at our local hardware store, but it is incredible because it actually is able to paint pretty good lines where you don't really have to touch them up much, and you definitely do not have to tape anything, which saves you a ton of time. And then also, as you can see, once Kyle gets it along the corners, he just goes back over it and kind of does circles along the harsh line. And the reason he does that is just so that you're not able to see the difference when I go back over it with my paint roller. Alright, we are finally done painting. That took, I feel like it just always takes longer than you think it's going to take, but we are done. That is all that really matters. You would think we're done with painting, but no, I do have to go paint the crib. We are just going to paint it like an off-white because right now it does have like a cherry color and it doesn't really match anything else. They actually got it secondhand, and so it just does not really match kind of what they have going on in their room now. So we are going to paint that. And then I think that might be the end of the painting for this room. Then we are going to build any furniture we have in here and kind of start putting the room back together because we still have all the tape on. The paint is just kind of drying, but it honestly just brightens this room up so much. And it just makes it look really put together already because now all the walls have the same wall color. So I'm loving it. It's looking good. We're not there yet, but we are well on our way. All right, well, painting the crib was a massive fail. It is so cold outside today and it's super windy. I ended up using almost an entire can on just the back side of the crib, and it wasn't even a good coat, so I would have had to do another one. We would have ended up having to go buy like multiple cans of spray paint. I already have 3, but I'm sure we would have needed like 5 or 6 more, and they're like $4 each. So I'm like, geez, we would have ended up spending like, I don't know what that math is, but it would have been a lot on spray paint, and it would have taken hours. It was just gonna be a mess. So we decided to just go ahead and get them a different crib because the one they had, as I said, it was secondhand and it was not super sturdy now that it has gone through multiple kids and moving and everything. So I think this one will work out better. Anyway, Kyle and I just ran to the store and got that crib. Now we just have to start taking off all of the tape, and then we're just going to start putting all of the furniture back, build the crib, build the cube, and keep on keeping on. The next thing on our list was to get the furniture built. So we are building the new crib, and then we're also going to be building the cubes. And Luke was being so sweet. He just was asking us what he could do to help this makeover. And I know that he loves building furniture with Kyle, and so we put him to work helping Kyle build all of the furniture, and I think he did a really good job. But I kind of talked about this in our bathroom makeover. Most of the time we just love including our kids in things like this, because even though it might not technically make things go faster, it definitely creates really great memories for our kids and just kind of helps them feel important and really included. So anytime that you can include your kids in the process of things like this, I feel like you're never going to regret it. It might take a little bit more time and sometimes a little bit more patience, but it's pretty much always worth it. Alright, we are making some serious progress. So now we have the crib built, also the cube built. The dresser is in the closet. Everything is painted, or at least the walls are. I actually am going to be painting the rod that goes in the closet, just because otherwise that would kind of clash with like the two totally different wood tones. So we're gonna paint it kind of like a blackish gray. We also have to paint the curtain rods that's going to go in this room, and then also the curtain rods that's going to go in the master bedroom and the office. But while they are drying, we are just going to start putting some things back into the closet area, and then also like the crib and things like that, and just kind of start putting together the room a little bit more. So the curtain rods and the way that I'm hanging up the curtains in all of the rooms that we're sharing in this series is going to be the same style that I did in our Farmhouse series makeover, which if you have not seen that, I will have it linked down below for you guys. But I just loved that style so much. It's also pretty affordable, and I will share a little bit more about the specifics of how we are going about this, but this is just part of that process. So right now we are just going ahead and spray painting the pipes a matte black paint, and then letting those dry outside until we're ready for them. Moving into the closet, we are just starting to add in some storage and function into the closet space. Now, like I said, this is not a super large room, and so we really wanted to make sure that we're utilizing all of the space without making it feel really cluttered. So we're adding some things in, like their laundry basket, onto the side of the closet. We're also adding in some bins that I had ordered from Amazon onto the side shelves, and these are going to be used to store some of the items for her son. And then once we're done with that, we're going to tackle the shelf above and make sure that that is really utilized well also.
Such a sweet melody, the song in my heart plays. I hope it's playing for you. I feel the love all around me.
Alright, it is the next day. This room has turned into a 2-day project now, but that's okay. We actually are getting pretty close to being done. We really are kind of at the home stretch on this, and it's looking so good. But at this point, I'm actually kicking Stephanie out, and she is going to, along with her daughter and everybody, they are going to have a final reveal, and they are waiting until everything is done to see how everything finally came together. So let's get back into it. So the things that I'm adding to the top bins on the top shelf of this closet are extra blankets and kind of overflow, like they have extra diapers, extra wipes and things like that. So I'm adding all of that into the top shelf because it's not something that they're going to be needing to access every day, but it is something that they do want to store in this room. And then while I was working on the room this day, my friend was actually going through all of the toys and just adding those into the new cubes. So once she had done that, I was able to add them into the cube organizer a little bit later on. Then once I got the closet all situated and organized, Kyle actually had to run out to grab something. So my friend's husband was home and he just helped put up a few signs. And these name signs were really cool. They were actually originally in the room. You might remember that from those before shots. But I knew immediately whenever I saw them, I really wanted to make sure that those got included into the final design. And I thought it was the perfect base to help give each of the kids their own separate spaces. So next up was bedding, and I just had gotten all of this bedding from Target, but I also grabbed it while it was on sale. I believe it was like 40% off, so we got a really good deal on it, and that is definitely a tip. If you're not able to reuse things that you already have and you're also not able to thrift items, that's another great way to do this on a budget. Definitely pay attention to different sales. You can sign up for newsletters or things like that, or there's tons of different websites where you can actually get notified when the items that you're looking for go on sale. But that is a great tip to keep in mind anytime you are doing a room makeover or a room refresh. Make sure that you are trying to shop those sales because it really will make a big difference in the budget. Finally, we are actually able to start decorating this space and really start pulling things together. So anytime I start thinking about a new room makeover, I first and foremost think about function, and then I tackle the beauty aspect. So that is why whenever I share these room makeovers, I always will do the functional things first. And then once every box is checked for function, I will then go in and start adding in decor and just make it a really enjoyable space to be in and look at. Now, shared rooms are so much fun and they're really special. My boys have actually shared a room for a majority of their life. They only recently got their own rooms. So I really do love shared rooms. I just think they're so fun and special. But it also can be a bit challenging to make it be one cohesive room while still giving each kid their own special space. So one of my tips for that is to find a commonality in the decor theme or colors or something like that. And in this case, you will see the similarities between each of their spaces was the color navy and also arrows. But at the same time, each kid has a little bit different spin on each of those items.
You wanna stay, baby, just don't walk away. I need you now, fade it out. All the time we spent alone, fighting through the firestorm. Don't let me down.
I really love the look of these curtains. I feel like it's super simple. It also makes it really easy to just pull it right up to the ceiling and give you that really nice height. And it also is pretty affordable depending on what different kind of pipe you get. You can either use something as simple as like a PVC pipe and paint that, or a wooden dowel, or what we used here is just a pipe. My personal favorite is a pipe just because it does have a bit more weight to it. But if your budget doesn't allow for a pipe, you can definitely use those other options and still get a really similar look.
All the time we spent alone, fighting through the firestorm. Don't let me down. I need you now, 'cause I'm feeling worn out. It's getting to me. Lost some heart.
You can tell we're getting close to the end of a makeover when I start adding in final touches, like adding books to their bookshelves or things like pacifiers and oils to Landon's mountain cubbies, and also a few special items to their new play area underneath the loft bed. And then you'll also see a little bit later that I add a blanket basket, as well as a place to store bags for dirty diapers right next to the changing station inside the closet.
You wanna be next to me, holding our paper hearts, fading our broken dreams. I wanna be next to you. You wanna be next to me, holding our paper hearts, fading our broken dreams. I wanna be next to you.
Alright, we finally finished everything. It looks like a completely different space, but I love it so much. So I'm going to turn you guys around and show you what it looks like, and then we are going to bring my friend and her family and her little kiddos into the room and kind of show them the reveal. I am so excited for this, and it makes me even more excited for the coming makeovers.
Tell me that you wanna stay, baby, just don't walk away. I need you now, fade it out. All the time we spent alone, fighting through the firestorm. Don't let me down, I need you now, 'cause I'm feeling worn out. It's getting to me, lost some heart trying to get on my feet, caught in the madness.
So this is how everything turned out. I am so in love with this space. I feel like it's perfect because it really does finally look like one single room. It just looks very cohesive and also really welcoming. We've also given them so much more floor space, but now they do finally have their own individual spaces, which I just love to give to kids that are sharing a room. I feel like that's just so special to be able to do. And also we've given them so much more storage space. We were actually able to bring some of their bulkier toys to different areas of the home that previously were storing all of the toys that we ended up putting in the bins. So this was such a big win for this space as well. It kind of decluttered certain areas of their home while being able to bring more of their little individual toys into the bedroom. And their closet is definitely packed with way more storage at this point too. So in just a minute, you guys are going to be able to see their reveal. I love sharing the family's reveal. It's just such like a special moment. But I did want to remind you before that, just to make sure that you go ahead and get entered into that giveaway. Like I said, I will have all of the information down below for you. And I also just want to say thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video today. Make sure you're subscribed down below so you don't miss out on the rest of this makeover series and also future videos on my channel. I hope you guys have the most amazing day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.
Trying to get on my feet, caught in the madness. I feel you somehow. Don't let me go.
All right, close your eyes. Okay, come in.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh my gosh. Oh, kids.
That
Oh
is
my
awesome.
gosh.
I love it.
You love it?
Love it? It
Look
looks
it.
so cute.
Can you lift me up? And you can
Look
me
how
back down.
pretty.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, this
It's the
looks
same
so
puppy.
cute.
You like
The
it?
same puppy in the peg.
You're gonna make me cry.
Wanna be next to you, wanna be next to me, holding our paper hearts, fading our broken dreams. Wanna be next to you, wanna be next to me, holding our paper hearts, fading our broken dreams. Wanna be next to you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode number 2 in my rustic makeover series. Today we are down in my friend's home office. So currently she has a desk. We've actually modified this already a little bit, so I will put in like a preview of what it looked like before they adjusted it. But she also does have an Etsy business that she works at from home using her Cricut machine, and so we are going to be making her like a whole craft table area over here so that she can not only work from home with her one job but also work on her business as well. So we have a lot to get done. We have a few furniture pieces to put together and build. We are also going to be taking a lot of things out of here. They actually have a lot of like hunting gear in here. This used to be kind of like a shared space, but now she is just kind of taking over this room and it's going to be just kind of all of her work stuff. So we have a lot to get done ahead of us. I'm gonna turn you around and show you what we are starting out with, and then we'll jump on into it.
I wanna hear you say that you only want me. Try to get some money for some stuff that I need. Swear the ATM machine was laughing at me. Your girl, been running on empty, but I don't let it affect me. There are days that I consider moving back home, but every day I do, my gut keeps telling me no. Your girl, been running on daydreams, but that's just how my brain be. I don't need your doubt, nope, I don't need your doubt.
All right, we already had a little change of plans. Honestly, you can't really tell. The color behind me is much darker than it appears right now just because the lighting on my camera is really good. But it is like a pretty dark color, and especially with only having the one basement window and then the one light in here, it just, my friend said it ends up feeling really dingy down here just because the color is like pretty dark for a basement. And we do have extra paint that we used in the kids' bedroom, and so I think we're going to put all hands on deck. We don't have a lot of time, so we are going to have all 4 of us pulling everything off the walls, putting up the holes, just patching those, taping, and then we are all just going to paint this really quick and get it done as quick as we can. I think it is going to make a big difference. I think it's going to be worth the extra time it'll take, but we're definitely going to have to get going with this and just kind of move at a pretty good pace.
Hey, just chill, I got all the time to kill. Yeah, I got good vibes, good vibes. I'm too blessed to give in to any stress. It's only good vibes, good vibes. So when I can't pay the rent, I got nothing in my fridge. Got no.
So the first thing that I wanted to do, of course, is take every single thing out of the room minus the big desk, because that's one of the things that we would have to, again, like take apart completely to get it out of the door. So we are just going to put the desk in the middle of the room, but every other single thing is going to be taken out of the room. All of the holes are going to be patched on the wall, and we are just going to start taping everything off, putting a liner on the floor, and just make sure that we are protecting everything so that we can go ahead and paint. And I do get this question all the time, so I did just want to share once again that the color that we are using is the Benjamin Moore Revere Pewter. It is the same color that we have throughout our entire Utah home, and we just love it. It is like the perfect gray / beige color, and I really just cannot recommend that one enough. So if you guys are in the market for a new really nice neutral bright paint color, I would definitely suggest checking out that one.
Trying to get my matches back, they stole it from me. From the suburbs, but I fake like I'm from the streets. Yo, girl, staying pretty busy, learning how to city. Life is way too short to get caught up in that mess. All I wanna do is get drunk on happiness. Yo, girl, love's that silver lining. Don't at me cause I'm smiling. I don't need your doubt, nope, I don't need your doubt. Hey, just chill, I got all the time to kill. Yeah, I got good vibes, good vibes. I'm too blessed to give in to any stress. It's only good vibes, good vibes. So when I can't pay the rent, I got nothing in my fridge. Got no doubt, yeah, things always turn around. Yeah, I got good vibes, good vibes. Sing it with me, every little thing is gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Sing it with me, every little thing is gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Rip a page out of the book, a lot from Sir Bon Jovi, and just take a second, take a breath, don't worry, just be happy. All that you got is a day, don't got a second to waste. You have permission to listen to the brain you've been given, yeah, you got a future to take, yep. Ooh, you ain't failing if you're trying, and ooh, gotta believe the future's brighter. You owe it tell yourself to do what only brings you joy. So shut up all that noise, yep, shut up all that noise. Hey, just chill, I got all the time to kill. Yeah, I got good vibes, good vibes. I'm too blessed to give in to any stress. It's only good vibes, good vibes. So when I can't pay the rent, I got nothing in my fridge. Got no doubt.
So here you can kind of see the difference in the colors. Now, honestly, they really don't look like this, I would say. The color that we are putting on the wall is definitely a lot warmer than it looks. It looks very cold in this picture. And then also the original color of the wall that we were painting over is not this neutral. It has much more of like an orangey tint. It's just a lot more tan and a lot darker than it appears here. So just kind of keep that in mind, because honestly, if I was judging these colors how they look on camera right here, I would probably say to stick with the original one, but it's just not that way. Just sometimes the camera kind of distorts the coloring, so just kind of keep that in mind, but it really did end up making such a big difference in the space.
You know I've been thinking about this all day. Got that tape of 4-2 saved in our names. Drove 15 over to get to your place. You know I've been thinking about this all day. Open the door. What do we leaving it for? What can I do when I walk in the room and you look like that? Can't help but stare and you know it ain't fair when you look like that. My self-control goes right out the window. Teaching my place, getting you in my hands when you look like that. Look like that. You know that perfume went right to my head. Breaking my focus, repeat what you said. Love drunk, I'm straight up, but burning hot mess. Girl, where we're going, you don't need that dress. Closing the door. Closing the floor. What can I do when I walk in the room and you look like that? Can't help but stare and you know it ain't fair when you look like that. My self-control goes right out the window.
All right, so we let the paint dry. It is looking so nice in here, super, super bright. It's way brighter, especially in person. But now, because we have to move the desk back, we're actually just gonna go ahead and add in the curtains because this area is already clear. And then once we have those in, then we'll go ahead and just move the desk back. Kyle's getting everything ready to work on the leather for like the way that we do the curtain rods. All right, next up was to go ahead and tackle the curtains. This is the same style that I did in our Farmhouse Makeover series, but all you're going to do is start with a pipe that we had painted earlier and just cut that down to the width that you want your curtain rod to be. We just did about 10 inches longer than the windows. And then you're going to take pieces of 2-inch wide leather. I just ordered this off of Amazon and I'll have it linked down below for you guys. And you're going to cut that, but these will end up going right up to the ceiling. So all you're going to do is loop them and then measure how far down you want your curtain rod to hang. And then the next thing that you're going to do is drill a screw right into the top section of the looped leather. And then once you have that done on both pieces, you're going to drill that right into the wall and then just slide your pipe into the loop that you've created.
You sat down beside me like you knew me all my life. Never strangers, having been together for all time.
Next, it was time to move the craft table down into the room down here. Now, this was something that my friend's husband actually built himself, and I will reinsert a clip right here of the desk that they had in here before. So originally, this desk was actually on the other side of the wall as their computer desk and the work desk, and then she did not have a place in this room to work on her business. Instead, she was just working in their dining room, which worked out okay in the beginning, but as her business has grown, she's really started to need a bigger space and just more room to kind of keep all of her supplies and everything and just have a good workspace. So we came up with a plan and they ended up changing up some of the furniture pieces. So now their old work desk is actually going to be her new craft table, and then her husband just built her a new L-shaped desk to have her work computer on. on. So it all just worked out super well. And the plan was to have a few pieces in the room be white, and that way it would really lighten up the space. And then the other items are stained a light brown, and that way it just brings some more warmth into the space. So you're still getting that bright element, but you're also having it be really warm and welcoming. So that's kind of why we did the two different tones in the space.
What if we got everything together, and wouldn't it be better then? Get more money, less anxiety, more passion, please. Wanna alter who I am. Get a little lost, can't find my way, but I can't stay here forever.
Here we are just starting to build a cube organizer, and I know some of you guys are totally expecting a cube organizer, and then some of you guys are like, whoa, seriously, another one? Like, can we just do a makeover without a cube organizer? And while I don't use them in every single makeover, you guys do see them getting utilized a lot, and that is for a few reasons. One, because they are very budget friendly for what you're getting, and they also offer a ton of storage and a lot of like customized storage space where you're not just going to be getting one large storage area, but you're going to be getting individual cubes for different things, and you can really kind of customize that storage to what you need.
White knuckles on the way down, but my friends are all around. White knuckles, letting go now. All my friends say, help me out. Everything is better now. I'm finding my way back somehow.
So these are the legs that I got to add to the cube organizer, and I just picked these up off of Amazon, but I will have them linked down below for you guys. Now, one thing that I did want to make sure to point out is that the cube organizer does have hollow outside wood pieces. So these legs are really not going to be super functional. They are going to be mostly for look. However, we do always anchor the cube organizers into the wall, and so really the legs are just going to be there for look, and they are not going to be like needing to be super sturdy. So what we are doing is just drilling a little hole into the bottom, and then we are screwing the legs right into the cube organizer, but we are also adding a little bit of wood glue to that, and that way it's just going to make it a little bit sturdier and a little bit more stable. But even with doing that, since the inside of the cube organizer is hollow, you do just want to be really careful and not just like drag this along the floor with the legs. You want to just kind of lift it up and pick it up and put it where you want. And then also, of course, either way, whether you do legs or not, make sure that you are attaching it to the wall so that it's not top heavy and it doesn't fall down if kids decide to climb on it.
White knuckles on the way down, but my friends are all around. White knuckles, letting go now. All my friends, they help me out. White knuckles on the way down, but our friends are all around. White knuckles, letting go now. All our friends, they help us out. Everything is better now. I'm finding my way back somehow. Everything is better now.
All right, so we got the cube organizer built and fastened to the wall. So I am gonna be doing like a quick little DIY. This isn't gonna take a long time. We actually already cut everything. I will try to overlay like the exact hardware supplies or exact like wood pieces we got, but we basically just got like these little square dowels, and we're gonna put one on each side, and then we're going to take this, I'm not entirely sure what this is called either, but we just found it at our local hardware store, and then we're going to set that on top, and basically these are going to be areas that my friend can store her flat vinyl for her Cricut machine. Right, so I think you can do this a few different ways. You could definitely like shoot these and attach them to the side like with a brad nailer, but I am actually just going to try to use my hot glue gun.
Look at this. I have the perfect little nails for this. Don't go probably that deep.
All right, we can try your way.
I'm not saying we have to. I don't have to say whatever. I'm just saying.
It's just your gun is so big and it's like so like jetty, like.
Yeah, it is. Do you want me to shoot it into a test piece?
Yeah, you can shoot it into the board.
Would you feel better?
Yeah.
Good little guy. You get the wheel guy. I'm not gonna hurt anything. I'll get the wheel guy. Yay, you're gonna go for a fun ride.
That could have hit me in the face.
Could have.
Also, I'm just putting 2 of these in the back as my guide just to make sure that everything is going to be in the right position.
Colors fill the space whenever you're around. We're illuminated in my room right now. There in your mind, deep in your eyes, I know you see it too. The more we break, the better way the light comes through. You and me, we can really mess it up sometimes. We're bittersweet, but I think about you all the time. It's addicting. Loving something wild inside. A masterpiece. You're a work of art that's come to life.
So this DIY shelf turned out so incredible. I actually found this idea online because when I looked up something to just buy and put in here, it was like $80 to get one, and I was not gonna spend $80 to organize flat vinyl in one little cube. So we decided to go ahead and do this ourselves, and it was so much more budget friendly, and it also was more custom, which I thought was really cool too. And now that we've made one of these, she can totally make more of these little cubes if she finds that she needs to store more flat vinyl. So here I am just sliding in the flat wood pieces, and these I'm actually not going to fasten. That way if she needs to adjust anything, she can pull them out and kind of add more space. And then once we got that DIY done, we just moved over to the next cube, and this is where we are going to store most of her rolled vinyl. Now this is something that we just found at the store, so I will link it down below for you guys, but this way no matter whether she has flat vinyl or rolled vinyl, she is totally covered. So this chair was something that I looked high and low for. I could not find a chair that I liked. I could not find a chair that was budget friendly at all. And I was about to actually give her my office chair and just find a new office chair for myself because I really just could not find anything that I loved that was still in the budget. But late one night I was online browsing and I ended up finding this chair and I loved it. And it was so perfect because it has like a really upscale look, but it's also really comfortable, and it's also not a roller chair, which I think would be great when she's doing her crafting. I know she kind of had requested a chair that was like a little bit more firm and not super saggy that you're just going to like kind of sink into. And so this chair ended up being absolutely perfect for the space, and I feel like it kind of created like a little mood over on the craft station. It just made everything look a little bit more high end. So finally, once we had the furniture all built and everything kind of put together, we just needed to start putting all of the little pieces in place and start decorating and everything, and just making sure that everything had a lot of function in this space. So when organizing and decorating her craft table, I really wanted to make sure that above all else, it was very functional. So I didn't want to overcrowd everything. I didn't want to put a whole lot of decor on the table, but instead I just kind of utilized the things that she actually needed, like her Cricut machine and a few of her tools, and I made that into some sort of decor in a way, and just made sure that everything looked really nice. So in the end, the only things that we really had on the table were her Cricut machine, of course, and then also this little caddy that holds like extra tools and things like that, and there's lots more room that she can actually fill this up later on if she would like. And then also I added in a little lamp and a desk caddy and also a diffuser later on. right, now that I have the craft table mostly situated, I believe, we are going to move into the bins. So I will kind of show you what we have going on in there. But my friend has basically just gone through the rest of her house and her closets and different areas that she had all of like her work stuff in. She's just gone and put all those things into the different bins. We also made some labels earlier. I didn't film that part, but you guys will see me putting them on. It's always super satisfying. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start putting the bins into the cube organizer and getting kind of this situation all figured out.
One step forward and another back. I would never try to fool ya. I'm one heartbeat away from going mad. Girl, when you're looking like that, closer, closer, I'ma get closer to you. Yeah, got me, baby, got me hooked on you once again.
So these labels are really cool. The labels themselves are made with, of course, my Cricut machine, and then the label tags are something that I had ordered off Amazon. I actually use these another time during this makeover series, but I was looking for some label tags and all of them were so expensive, like $10 for 6 of them or even $20 for 10 of them or something. It was just outrageously priced and I was not gonna pay that much for some label tags. And so I ended up finding these ones on Amazon. Of course, I will link them down below, but they are just grocery store tags and they give you about 50 of them for just $10, which is perfect because I knew I was going to need quite a few of these. And I knew that if I spray painted these and then added my own custom labels, they would end up looking so nice, and they absolutely did. They were not a disappointment at all, and I just cannot believe like how affordable they were. So if you are needing some nice label tags and you are on a budget, like I'm sure we all are, definitely check this out. This is such a great option. So of course I had to add some plants in. I asked my friend if she liked plants and she said she loved plants, but she was a little bit apprehensive about trying a live plant. And because we are moving, I'm actually giving some of my plants away that I just am not sure if they're going to make the trip. And one of the plants is a snake plant, which I knew would be perfect for her because they are really low maintenance. So I put the snake plant in here. And then this is a sign that we had made earlier. It turned out so good. I love it. And this is just another one of those things that you can make with your Cricut machine. It's incredible because you can find your own custom sayings and then design it exactly how you want in whatever kind of font you want and whatever style and colors you want. And it's just cool because you can make it exactly whatever you want for your own space. So this is one of the ones that I had showed you guys that we made earlier, and I just love how it turned out and how it looked in the space. All right, we are finally done. This room turned out so incredible. I love it so much. It feels so much more open and spacious, and yet we have way more furniture in here, way more stuff in here, way more organization, way more workspace. It's just so incredible. Everything is peaceful in here. I would love this for my office. But we are about to bring my friend in and give her the reveal. She has not seen it since they had a desk in and just the workspace. Everything else is new to her. So we are about to bring her in and show her her new office.
I felt the world stop turning. I felt the waves come crashing down. I found you. I know you from my memory. Was it a past or future life? I know you. Slow down every winding road. I'll go anywhere
So this is how everything turned out. I love this space so much. After we were done, I was like, I want this office for myself, and I don't even have a Cricut business. I just want it. It looked so incredible. It was so calm and peaceful in here. One of my favorite things about this entire space is just the colors in it. I feel like it's one, very bright. You would not expect this room to be in a basement, but it's very warm because although you do have a lot of white in here, you do also have that mint color, which is really fun and bright. And then you have the warmth of the wood elements like the desk and the shelf, and then a few of the other decor items. So kind of mixing those things together just made it look so cozy and such a welcoming place to work. And you will notice I did leave a few of the walls kind of more blank than I normally might have. And that's because she had been talking about maybe adding a TV in here for her kids to watch. So I actually left the wall next to her craft table empty, and that way if she did want to add a TV or something, she could totally do that. And then I also thought adding a little shelf onto the wall between the cube organizer and her desk would look great as well. But sometimes when you're doing these makeovers, it is kind of nice to leave a little bit of extra breathing room, and then you can kind of decide later on, once you get all settled in, if you really need any other decor, if you need any other functionality added to the space. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys definitely need to stay tuned for episode 3 and 4, which will be coming up next week. Do not forget to subscribe down below if you have not already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.
Slow down every winding road. I'll go anywhere you go tonight.
Okay, Kinsley, are you gonna help him? All right, Steph, open your eyes.
Oh my gosh.
You love it. Mom, look!
Yes, I know.
That's
the
crazy.
curtains.
Looks way different.
I
doesn't
know. It looks so good.
Cool.
God.
That chair's actually
Dude, that
awesome.
is so cute.
It's super comfy.
Look,
I
Mom!
know. Oh my
Paint spinner?
pink.
That's
And all your printer frames and all your books.
Wow. Oh, this turned out so good.
This biome looks cool.
Yeah, I know. It looks so good. I absolutely love it.
Across the sky won't outshine my love for you. Fire in the dark with blinding light won't outshine my love for you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode 3 in my rustic makeover series. I have been loving doing this makeover. It's been so much fun, just transforming one room after the other. And today we are in the kitchen and we are going to be tackling the pantry. Not only the pantry, but there's actually a few other cabinets that are holding like various food items. So we are going to try to consolidate as much as we can into the pantry, and then also make sure that we are making those food cabinets very functional and just really easily accessible. So we have a lot to get done today, so let's go ahead and jump on into it.
I wanna hear you say that you only want me.
Hand out the window, head for the sun. All of the stars turning blue. A fire we had frozen, eyes waking up. We got some living to do. Never gonna give it up, never gonna let you go. It's all been waiting for you. Never gonna give it up, never gonna let you go. We got some living to do.
As you may or may not have been able to see, there's actually a lot of things in these cabinets, and especially in the pantry, that is not all food. So there are a lot of things that we're actually going to be pulling out and putting into different spots of the house where they actually go, and then making sure that everything in the pantry is very easily accessible. Also, really just the things that they're actually going to be accessing and things that are actually going to be like in the food category, I guess. And then also just making sure that everything looks very nice and aesthetically pleasing, because even though it is not absolutely crucial that you have really nice like looking pantry and things like that, it really does make a big difference when you're opening up the door to your pantry or your cabinets and deciding what you want to cook for meals. If it looks really nice, you're way more able to see what you have. You're also kind of more inspired to make something really nice versus just pulling out that box of mac and cheese that's at the front of the pantry and then leaving everything else to expire in the back or just not get used. So we have a lot of work. I'm really excited. I've done so many pantry makeovers on my channel and I always love doing them. Each of them are like a little bit different just depending on like each family's needs, but I love them and I know this is going to be a magnificent transformation. So the very first thing that I want to do in any pantry makeover is actually take every single thing out of the pantry. Now I kind of put everything all over the kitchen countertops, but I do try to do my best just to kind of keep things in light categories. And what I mean by light categories are mostly going to be how I am planning to organize them. So the things that I'm putting on the top level of their countertop are the things that I'm going to be taking out of their original packaging and putting into containers. And then all of the rest of the things are things that I'm going to be keeping in their original packaging, but just store those into different storage bins. Now, in a lot of my decluttering and organizing videos, I usually say only to tackle one shelf at a time or one cabinet at a time. But in a pantry situation, I usually like to take everything out, and that way I really start out with a clean space and I'm able to kind of go through and decide how exactly I want to set up my storage solutions. And also I want to see exactly what kind of products we are starting with and make sure that we are going to be making room for everything in the pantry. Also, I did want to share really quickly about the giveaway that will be going on throughout this entire makeover series. So I am giving away $200 cash, and all you have to do to enter is make sure that you are subscribed to my channel because this is a subscriber giveaway, and then go ahead and leave a comment on all 4 of the videos in the series. I will have all of the links to those videos down below, and I'll also have all of the rules to that giveaway written down in the description box below as well. So anyway, I just wanted to share that really quick just as a little reminder to make sure that you get entered, and good luck. I have the entire pantry emptied out, wiped down and vacuumed. I do still have to empty out the other cupboards, but we're first going to start with this because I actually have a chore for Kyle to do. He is going to be, let's see if I can do this one-handed. He is going to be putting this over the door organizer. We're actually not going to put it over the door. You totally can, especially if you're renting. But they just said they would rather have it more permanent here. And since they do own their home, they're okay to do that. So we are just going to attach it to the inside of the pantry door, and this will give them tons more storage. Once we are done with that, we're going to go ahead and just kind of get started with sorting all the food out and hopefully getting it put into the pantry. So this door organizer is something that I've actually used in one of my sister's pantries as well. However, they were renting and so they opted to do the over the door option, which worked totally great for them as well. This one we ended up actually attaching it to the door and it worked incredibly well. One thing I would recommend if you go this route is to go to your local hardware store and just get hollow door anchors. They worked super well because they really are just made for this specific purpose, and it just made this organizer really, really sturdy. With that being said, if you have a smaller pantry or if you just have a lot of food or a lot of things that you like to store in here, I really cannot recommend this enough. It just gives you so much storage, and I personally think it's incredible for your can storage because you're not going to be storing cans behind each other and you're not going to be having them go bad or not really know exactly how much you have. You are going to open your door and know immediately what inventory you have, what things you need, and what kind of things you can make for dinner or whatever. So if that sounds like something that you could use, I would definitely recommend checking this out. Whether you're renting or a homeowner, it's just such a great option. And they're also pretty affordable. They are only about $30, which is great for all the storage you get. So I will of course link them down below along with anything else that I can find online for you guys. All right, I am starting to run out of countertop space for just taking everything out. So I think the next thing on my list to do, or the next plan of attack, is to actually go in here and start kind of figuring out my plan as to what's going to go where. And then I can actually start taking things off the counter, and then anything that I want to put into jars or containers and out of their original packaging, then I will have actual countertop space to do that. So let's go ahead and see what organizing solutions I have for this pantry.
Time flies when you get it right, so hold on tight to me. Love like we never grew up.
So here I'm just starting to put everything into the pantry and kind of get a good idea of how exactly I'm planning to set everything up. But because there were a lot of different containers that we are going to be taking things out of their original packaging and putting into the containers, I just wanted to make sure that I was putting everything in the correct space, just to make sure that it was going to be the most convenient for my friend and her family. So I'm just actually going over a list that I had written out of all the things that they wanted to store in different containers, just things that they always are buying. And then I'm writing that list down on a piece of paper and taking those small pieces of paper and kind of temporarily labeling everything. And that way I know which containers are going to fit in what space. So all of the organizing bins that I got either came from Walmart, Target, Amazon, and a few things came from Marshall's. And honestly, I just loved every single one of these bins and containers. They all worked so well. But one thing that I specifically wanted to shout out to you guys and just kind of make sure to make a mention of are the clear containers that are airtight. They are the ones that we're going to be putting things like flour in, chia seeds, kind of like all that extra stuff. And I'm sure you guys know of several different brands that do this, but these ones are actually from Walmart. They are the Better Homes and Garden brand. I have used these in a different pantry as well, and I've also used the other name brand, and I really don't feel like there's much of a difference in quality, but there is a significant difference in price between those two. So these ones were so much more affordable. I got tons of containers of them. Now it definitely still does add up to get these containers, but if you are in the market for one of these type of airtight containers, these are absolutely the ones that I would recommend you grabbing because they are, like I said, just so much more bang for your buck. You are going to get such a better deal on these ones. So I will have them all linked down below for you guys, but I just cannot recommend them enough. And when we move into our new house in a month or so, these are absolutely the ones that I'm going to be going for and putting in my own pantry. So I just love these ones.
Love like we never grew up, live like you just get one tonight. We're kings and queens. One week and it's over. Wake up, but we're older
So this is how I have everything set up so far. Now keep in mind, none of this is permanent. I can absolutely change things around, and in fact you will see me kind of changing things up and just making sure that everything I have set up will actually work for their family. But doing this really does give me a good starting point on starting to actually fill up the pantry and making sure that I'm putting things in just an easily accessible place. Like I'm trying to put things that are easy for the kids to access down low, and then anything that just the parents are going to access are going to be up high, and things that they're going to be grabbing for daily are really at eye level, and then things that they don't grab for all the time are either a little bit higher or a little lower. So I just wanted to share why I go ahead and put in empty bins before filling them up with food. So one thing that I really love to do is to add in a kid's snack bin. That is, if you have kids. And the things that I like to put in here, just things that they can typically always grab for. They're not necessarily like candy or something, but just like an easy snack. So if you tell them that they're welcome to go ahead and grab a snack from the snack bin, they know exactly where they can go and exactly what they're allowed to grab. Alright, so I don't have everything in here yet. As you can see, I haven't filled up like the actual containers, but all of the bins have pretty much been filled. I've cleared off basically all of this section, which was all of the stuff that's just going to go in containers. I also have been working kind of on this cabinet and pulling it into there. And then I have a little bit of other stuff that I still have to go through. But I think at this point I'm going to start working on containers and actually filling those up. So those have already been washed out and dried, so they're all good to go. So I'm just going to start kind of pulling things that are on this section and also back in the baking section and start filling those containers up, and then we'll kind of see where we're at after that. So there are a few different questions that I always tend to get whenever I remove things from their actual packaging and put them inside of a container. And those questions are, first of all, how do I pick what I'm going to put into a container? And the answer to that one is something that is just like in one single package. So you obviously wouldn't want to put something that you get in individual packages in there. But then the other thing is something that you consistently buy the same thing of. So personally, I wouldn't put something like Cheez-Its in there because I only buy Cheez-Its randomly. I don't always have Cheez-Its on hand. However, we do always have pancake mix on hand, and we always get the same one. We also always have rice on hand, and we always get the same kinds. So those are the kind of things that I like to take out of their original packaging and put into nicer containers. And then the second question that I get a lot is two parts, and that is, how do you know when something is going to expire if you take it out of the container? And also, how do you know how to make that item? Like for example, with rice or oatmeal, if you put it in a new container and then you don't have the directions to that. So one thing you can do is actually write in dry erase marker the date that it expires when you take it out of the container, and you can just write that anywhere on your container, and then you can just wipe it off whenever you run out of that product. And then as for the directions, I actually will cut out the directions on one of the boxes and put it either inside the container, or I will just tape it to the back of the container, and then whenever we go to make that item, I have the instructions really easily accessible on the back of the container, and it works out incredible. But I really do love doing this because one, it does keep your food a lot fresher, and two, it definitely looks a lot cleaner, and that way there's no guessing of how much you have of something. You just have immediate inventory, and you don't have to go spend money or spend time buying the same thing that you already have in your pantry. So this cabinet is right next to their stove, and so I really wanted to utilize this space as their baking and spice cabinet. Currently, they just have all their baking stuff right above the fridge, which is really hard to get to, and all their spices are actually above their microwave right now, so neither of them are really easily accessible. And so I wanted to make sure to really utilize this cabinet well, and so I've added in a nice spice rack that will actually expand to be whatever size you need it to be. And then I'm just adding in all of those containers with all the things like flour and chia seeds and sugar and all of that good stuff into that cabinet, and I will be labeling those later as well. Now the next thing that I wanted to tackle was all of their spices. As soon as I saw where they were keeping their spices and kind of like how they were sitting in there, I knew that having something a little bit more uniform would serve them so well, and so I ordered this spice set off of Amazon. It came with all of these jars that are nice and uniform. It also came with a bunch of labels, so I didn't have to make my own labels or anything, which just made it all that more convenient. So here I am just starting to kind of go through the spices that they have and put them into each of the jars. Now, to be honest, this was one of those little tedious things that a few spices in, I was like, wow, I really regret doing this. I should have just left it alone. I just was like, oh, this is like way more just small, busy work than I was anticipating it being. But at the same time, once I was finished, I was like, yes, I am so happy that I went ahead and did this, because it really did make such a big impact and it just made such a big difference. So if you guys don't have your spices in a matching container that is all the same size, everything like that, if you do decide to go this route, you will not regret it. It just ends up looking super calm. It's really easy to find exactly what you're looking for, and it also takes up a lot less space than having to look through all the big jars that you might have. All right, we have everything put away. Everything just needs to label. So I do have these labels all printed out right now. And I'm also going to be using these little tags. These are actually, I think, grocery tags, but I got them on Amazon because whenever I was looking for tags, they were insanely expensive, like 6 for like 20 bucks or like 6 for 10 bucks it seemed. And so I am just going to spray paint these and then add my own labels onto them. And it's like a fraction of the cost. I got this entire bag. I think it came with like 50 of them for 10 bucks. So it was a super good deal. It's just a way more budget-friendly way to do like labels. And then these ones are actually just going to go right on the jars. So let's go ahead and get things labeled.
I built a rocket in my basement. I'm gonna fly it to the moon. This supersonic is amazing. You're gonna feel my sonic boom. I'm flying higher and I'm never coming down. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me. We brought the funk into this function. We show up dressing to the nines. Okay.
So all of these labels were custom made. I made them using my Cricut Maker. You guys have seen me use my Cricut Maker several times now. I am loving it so much. Now, if you don't have a Cricut Maker, you can definitely find lots of these on Etsy. My friend actually makes these labels on her shop. So I will have the link for these labels down below for you guys in case if you don't have a label maker or a Cricut and you don't want to make your own. But really having custom labels does make a really big impact. You can choose the color, you can choose the font, and you also have the labels custom customized to the things that you actually have in your own pantry. So that is something that I would really recommend if you are going all out like this and just making your pantry something that you love. I feel like labeling everything is perfect because it, one, makes everything look really nice and uniform and put together, and it also is great for anyone who doesn't know exactly where everything is. They can easily go into your pantry and just see exactly what things are, and it just makes things so much easier to find.
My first day on Earth, I fell into your eyes. Look at how our galaxies collide. Every color of the spectrum, every star up in the sky. The planets aligned for you, and I've known you since the dawn of time. With twin flames burning bright, and I can't believe that I finally found you here. 'Cause nothing is better than you and I together. I just wanna stay until the morning sun. Lay here forever, you and I together. I just wanna stay until the morning sun. I just wanna stay until the morning sun.
These are those little grocery store tags that I was telling you guys about earlier, and this is how they look once they were all spray painted. Like I said, this is such a great and affordable tip if you are trying to put labels onto different bins. It worked really, really well, and I love being able to customize these and spray paint them a contrasting color. It just made them stand out that much more, and I just love, love, love how the final product turned out on these, and I'm just blown away that we were able to do this on such a low budget.
Nothing is better than you and I together. I just wanna stay until the morning sun. Lay here forever, you and I together. I just wanna stay until the morning sun. 'Cause nothing is better than you and I together. I just wanna stay until the morning sun. Lay here forever, you and I together. I just wanna stay until the morning sun.
All right, we have everything finished, so I'm about to bring Stephanie and her husband in and show them the final result. They really have not been like a part of this pantry makeover at all today, and I don't think they've caught too many sneak peeks, so it's gonna be like a big surprise to them. I'm super excited to see their reaction and just see what they think of everything.
I just wanna touch the stars. I just wanna find my place. I feel the weight of the world knocking down my door. I need something to believe in. Oh, there's gotta be so much more. Take the road before us into the afterglow. Forget about our future. It's time that we let go. We don't got lots of money. We don't got fancy cars, but we don't need that honey. Yeah, 'cause we got heart. Yeah, we got heart.
So this is how everything turned out in the pantry. I love this pantry so much. I feel like it just turned out so, so great. Everything is super organized. Everything is really easily accessible and easy to see. As soon as you open the door, you can see exactly what you have and find exactly what you're looking for really quickly. I definitely love the aesthetic of it as well. Just like everything's so nice and clean with all the white, and then you have those contrasting tags with that little pop of mint green. It looks so good, and I know this is going to make their life a lot easier finding things in here and just making sure that they're not overbuying things, because they will know exactly what they have in here. And also, just to touch on things that we did not keep in the pantry again, like I had mentioned earlier on in the video, there were a lot of things in here that were not food items, and I had asked them if they would like to keep those things in their pantry. They said that their pantry had just become kind of like a catch-all for them because it was already a mess, there was not organization in it, and they really wanted to take advantage of this time to be able to pull everything out of the pantry that wasn't food and just be able to put those things away. So that's exactly what we ended up doing, and it all just turned out so, so well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and definitely stay tuned for episode 4 that will be up later this week. And also make sure that you were entered into that giveaway that I mentioned earlier as well. Also stay tuned for the reveal if you'd like to see how they like their new pantry. That is always one of my favorite parts. And before you go, make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on any future videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!
I
ready? Okay, close your eyes.
Okay.
Do I trust you? Because you just ran into stuff.
That's because I'm going backwards and nobody's leading me. Any Kyle lead me.
We should have stuck the camera in there.
Oh, I should have. Actually, I'll have you guys open the door. I guess I could have done that the whole time.
I like walking around the island with you guys.
It was more dramatic this way.
Holy cow! Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
That's cool.
Oh, for the bread? Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even know they made those. Oh, there's another one down here.
Yep,
Oh,
so
that's
that has like
awesome.
potatoes and just
potatoes?
extra bread.
It's so
Oh,
weird how
nice.
you like look at everything and then until you point like individual stuff out, you like don't see it.
Yeah.
Some of these snacks I didn't even know we had.
Whoa.
That's awesome. This is my favorite one.
Is it?
Just because
Yeah.
it's nice having all this stuff organized.
Yeah.
Like,
I
so
know.
you like, wow.
This is so much nicer, like so much
Those
nicer.
bins are awesome.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the fourth and final episode of my Rustic Makeover series. I have loved doing this series. It's been so much fun. We've transformed 3 spaces so far and they've all been incredible. But today we are in their master bedroom. So this master bedroom actually has pretty good function. There are a few spaces where I'm going to try to add a little bit of extra storage and functionality for them, but mostly we are going to brighten it up in here and just kind of give it a little bit of a facelift and just kind of make sure that we're polishing this room and making it really peaceful and calm for them. That is what I want to share and create for them. So I'm really excited to create this space for them. I don't really think they're going to be a part of this room at all. So it's going to be 100% surprise reveal at the very end. But we do have a ton to get done, of course, like we always do. First thing I want to do is actually paint this back wall, kind of like an off-white, just to really make that bed pop. Her husband actually built that bed. And again, I feel like my camera is doing an excellent job of making the lighting in here feel a lot brighter than it actually is. And so I think that white that we're going to add is going to make a big difference here. So the first thing we need to do is clear everything out of the room, everything off the walls, patch any wall holes, and then we're actually going to pull this bed away from the wall and get that wall painted.
I wanna hear you say that you only want me.
Time stops when we're alone. You got my love, don't let it go. Feels like we're paper thin, one step away from caving in. When you're out with all the wild roams and you're looking for a way back home, I'll be like that only you can see. You can see. I'll be here when things go south. We can take our time just to figure it out. Oh, I'll be here when all gets lost. We can count on hope when there's rivers
So before we get too far into the video, I did want to remind you guys about the big giveaway that I have going on throughout this entire makeover series. We are going to be giving away $200 cash. This is international, so no matter where you live, you can definitely get entered into this one. And I'm keeping it super simple to be entered. All you have to do is make sure that you are subscribed to my channel because this is a subscriber giveaway. And then next, you just need to make sure that you leave a comment on all 4 of these makeover series videos. So I will have all 4 of them linked down below, along with all of the rest of the information on that giveaway. But I am just so thankful to be able to do these makeovers and share them with you guys, and I'm thankful that all of you guys are here. It just means the world to me. So this is just a small way for me to be able to give back to you guys and let you know how much I appreciate you.
Stops when we're alone. You got my love, don't let it go.
Wish on every shooting star that you still come back to my heart. Can you see how we've come so far? Hope you still come back to my heart. Didn't mean to hurt you bad, only did those things so that I can make a little room for us. I wish on every shooting star that you still come back to my heart.
So once we got everything taken out of the bedroom, aside from their bed, we needed to, of course, pull the bed frame out away from the wall. And this thing was so heavy. Like, I tried to nudge it with Kyle and I really could not do a whole lot. So we actually had my friend's husband come into the room and just help Kyle push it out away from the wall. And then once we had that moved away, all that was really left before painting, it was just vacuuming the floor behind the bed. And then also, of course, wiping down the baseboards.
Wish on every shooting star that you still come back to my heart. Can you see how we've come so far? Hope you still come back to my heart. Didn't mean to hurt you bad, only did those things so that I can make a little room for us. I wish on every shooting star that you still come back to my heart.
Another thing that I wanted to mention, if you did see the other episodes in this series, we have actually started using frog tape. Now, this was the very first time that we have started to use frog tape because a lot of your guys' suggestions, and a few of you guys have asked if it's worth it or what the difference is. And so the differences between the frog tape and the blue tape is, one, the frog tape is a little bit more pricey for sure, but the biggest reason that we have decided to continue using it is because it really does do so much better. Like hanging onto your baseboards and everything, it just tapes so well. Even if there's like a little bit of dust left behind, it has such a stronger grip. And then also probably the biggest thing is it does not let the paint bleed onto whatever area you're taping off. Usually we'll have to touch up like every area with the blue painter's tape, but with the green frog tape, we did not have to touch up a single area. And also I did want to share the paint that we are using. So this is my favorite paint currently, and it is the Bear Marquee from Home Depot. I just feel like it works so well, and you also only have to do one coat usually. Sometimes you can do a second, but typically you only need like one coat. And the color that I decided to use was an off-white, and it's called Cameo White. So you can just find that at your Home Depot if you like this color, but I loved it because it was a really nice bright white, but it was still pretty soft. It wasn't really stark or anything, and I just love how it all turned out. This tool that Kyle is using is called a Paint Edger Pro, and we just find it at our local hardware store, but it works really great because usually you don't have to tape off a lot of areas like the ceiling or anything. And then once he paints it on, he just does some circles around that line just to make it less harsh when I go back through with my roller.
We were driving on the freeway, our minds drifting another state, floating above all the planes. Oh, I was searching for you. I didn't know it'd be like that. You would notice me like that. When you fall right into it, when you sit to silence, crashing into the deep end, feeling better in the daylight, keep you up all through the night, no control and you don't mind falling.
Alright, we got that back wall painted right there. You can pretty much see a good, I feel like that's pretty close. It's still all lighter than it truly is, but it does make a big difference in here already. It just looks so much brighter, and I know it does feel bigger. We don't have any furniture in here yet, but that is next on our list. Kyle is grabbing the boxes from the garage that we've been storing them in, and we're just going to start building the dresser and the new nightstands.
Weekdays, time with you has a halo. Nights are losing all of their taste, all of their taste. Way up here looking at you, never coming down, down. When you fall right into it, when you sit to silence, crashing into the deep end, feeling better in the daylight, keep you up all through the night, no control and you don't mind falling.
So the dressers and nightstand set that I decided to go with was from IKEA. Of course, you guys know I love IKEA, but it's really cool this time because instead of doing just like the typical IKEA furniture, we started out with that, and then I ended up customizing these with a very, very cheap option, and you'll see in the end, but they end up looking so custom and just super neat because it really does not really look like IKEA furniture once you are all done with it. But I did end up going with white because I did want to brighten up the space, and I wanted to really kind of bring in darker accents into the room. The base of the room was starting out with a dark bed, and I love their bed, and of course they love their bed because her husband had built that for them. He's very, very talented. But because they did have their big wood bed, I really wanted to lighten up the space and make it feel a lot larger than it is by making sure that the other big pieces of furniture were light as well. So that's why I ended up opting for the white dresser and nightstands. But then later on you'll see I do add a lot of darker pieces, and that way it does kind of still add a lot of contrast and a lot of interest into the room while still making it feel really big, bright, and airy. Also, I did just want to mention, if you're unfamiliar with IKEA furniture, the ones that we decided to go with are the Hems brand, or Hemnes. I'm not 100% sure how to say all the names at IKEA, but that is the one that we decided to go for. And before getting these, I did look all around at different stores and online, and these were significantly less expensive than all the other ones that I had found. And I do love that they are still really, really great quality.
Jump into the deep end, give you all my weekends, taking all the back roads. We can make the time slow, betting on a feeling. We keep on reliving as the moon is rising. I will keep on finding. Jump into the deep end, give you all my weekends, taking all the back roads. We can make the time slow, betting on a feeling. We keep on reliving as the moon is rising. I will keep on finding you.
Kyle is just going to finish up the drawers just so we can keep going with this whole project, because we still have a lot to get done. So I think I'm just gonna start making the bed and kind of start going through everything. We actually didn't put the hardware on that it came with because I ordered 2 different sets, and we're gonna kind of see like which style I think would match the room best. So I'm not sure if I'll do that now or kind of wait and see once we get a few things up and kind of see how everything's looking. But we are making progress. It's just slower going than we would have hoped. So once we finally got the nightstands and the dresser all built, I moved on to the bed, and Kyle was just actually finishing up some of the drawers. And then once I got their sheet set on, I started adding the new quilt. And this quilt was one that I searched high and low for, just kind of trying to figure out what I could find that would really add some great color into this room, but also keep things feeling really nice and bright. And my friend loves the mint color. It also is one that's not super feminine, so it's something that her husband could enjoy as well. And this one I could actually not find in stores, but I will link it down below. It comes in different colors, but I love this mint color. And this is actually the same style bedding that I have had on my bedding for like over a year. We finally changed ours out for something a little bit heavier over the holidays, but I think I'm gonna end up going back to this or something really close to it when we move into our new house, because I just love all the texture on this soft quilt, and I could not recommend this one enough. The next thing I wanted to add into this bedroom was a little sitting area, because that was something my friend really was hoping for in this room, but I also knew they just needed a little bit more storage, and I kind of wanted to hit those needs all in one, and so I ended up getting them a bench, but also the bench does open up and give a lot of extra storage inside the bench. So I am going to be creating this little sitting area over here, and later on I'll actually kind of decorate around the bench. So right now it looks very bare, but later on it will kind of be like a whole mood over here. It will be like a whole little sitting area, and it will also add so much to the entire feel of this room. So if you remember when we first started out in this room, they actually had a pretty small TV in here. Definitely on this wall and in this space, it ended up looking really small and it just did not fit. And now that we've actually added in a larger dresser, I knew that this just would not end up looking good at all. And I asked if they still wanted their TV in their room, and they do. They said they use it all the time because they actually don't have a TV in their upstairs living room. And because we are actually moving out of our house in Utah and moving to Arizona, we had our TV in our bedroom that we just did not ever watch. And so we were not going to keep our TV anyway that we have in our bedroom. And so we decided to bring it down and bring our mount down. So we did not have to spend any money on this new TV, which was perfect. But then they were able to get a TV that would better suit them and better serve them. And so right here, that's just what we are starting to do now, and get it mounted on the wall. Next, we are going to put up the curtains, and we just decided to do this the same way that we have done the last several rooms and the ones that we did in our Farmhouse Makeover series as well. I love this style, and in the other videos, I actually talk in depth a little bit more about how we go about doing this, but basically, you are just going to get a pipe, cut it down to size, and then you just get a strip of leather. I order mine off of Amazon, and then you just drill that right into the wall up against the ceiling, and then you can kind of feed your pipe right through that. I love it because I feel like it looks really high-end, but it's also very budget friendly. Alright, so we stepped out and took a pause in the makeover to eat dinner, and now we have lost the light officially, so we are not only working in a little bit harsher light, but we also are working against the clock because it's about 9 o'clock at night and these guys have to get into their room and get to bed, and we also have to do the reveal. So we have a lot to get done. We are just going to start pulling everything in and getting it put up on the wall, getting everything set up, and hopefully get this makeover done pretty quickly for them.
See the clouds and let 'em be.
Alright, the next thing on my list was to get this big sign that my friend had made with her Cricut machine up on the wall. This is definitely going to be a focal piece in the bedroom, and I just love how everything turned out. She designed it herself, and I thought it turned out so great. This is kind of like a personal saying that's really special to them, so it was really cool to be able to add something very personal like this into their bedroom. And this was one of the first things that I knew immediately when going into her bedroom that I knew we wanted to put into this room. And so right away I asked her to go ahead and come up with a saying, and if she wouldn't mind making a sign for it. And of course, because she does this for a business, she had no problem with it at all. And I just loved how this turned out.
Hear the songs in the breeze. Sing out your wins and trials like a melody.
So here I am just starting to customize the drawers of the dresser and also the nightstands. This is the thing that I was talking about earlier when I was saying that you can customize IKEA pieces for very little money. I ended up buying these little drawer pulls. They were actually on sale for like $11 on Amazon, and so I picked them up. And all you do is just, instead of using the original hardware that comes in your IKEA furniture, I just added these little drawer pulls on, and I love how they look. They made everything look a little bit more rustic, a lot softer, and just very, very custom. I love this so much, and I could not be more happy with it. So I'm definitely planning to buy more of these and possibly use them in different parts of our own home. I just loved how much more custom everything looked just by adding these little drawer pulls.
We die. Bring on the fire. Bring on the rain. Nothing can take you down.
So as you know, this was the very last makeover that we were doing in this series. And every single night, I think I've seen her husband sitting down at a chair that they had in here previously. And so I really wanted to give him a sitting space that was really inviting for him. But I also wanted to make sure that it was something that really fit the space well. The chair that they had here previously really took up so much space. It just did not really fit the room. And so I wanted to be able to offer him a space that he could sit at and enjoy kind of the evening, but also make it flow nicely in the room. And so I found this chair at Ross, and then I got this lamp also on sale at Target. And the combination together just made this little corner look so inviting. So at this point, we really have all of the furniture kind of set up in the room. Really, all I'm doing is just adding little decor pieces here and there. And a lot of these things I actually had at my house already. I didn't really have to buy much new as far as decor goes in this room. And I love being able to do that because then you're able to find neutral items that you really love at a good price, or maybe you thrifted them or something. You can kind of hang on to them, and then whenever I go to do makeovers or redecorate my own home, I can kind of pull from those items, and I'm not having to spend a ton of money all up front. I can kind of spread that out throughout the year and just whenever I can find a good deal on something. So that is definitely a great tip if you are on a budget. Just make sure that you're kind of keeping your eye out anytime you can find a good sale, and then kind of be a little bit more neutral with your decor pieces and not be so specific and use something that would only work as one time a year or something that would only work in a certain room. Just kind of try to find things that are going to work anywhere and things that you really love, and it helps a lot with the budget doing it that way.
I've been waiting for somebody just like you, hoping, praying, run away to something new. My mistakes brought me to this place. I had to fall to get to you.
This was such a packed week. I cannot believe we actually finished. It's very late, like past 10 o'clock, but I'm about to bring them in and share with them their final room reveal of the series, and I can't wait to just kind of pass this on to them and just give them the most peaceful room. So let's go ahead and see the reaction.
Be gone. You stayed with me all along. You've been with me when I laugh or cry. Anywhere I stood, you were standing by. With me when I'm fine, with me when I'm not, with me when I'm giving everything I got. With me all along, not a cameo. Every scene, every episode, in every video. Skip no scenario, there anywhere we go. You've been with me all along, all along. Always on my side, you've never gone. You've been with me all along. And you've been holding on for so long. Where others would be gone, you stayed with me all along. You're still with me and I hope you stay.
So this is how their master bedroom turned out. I could not love this room more. Through this makeover, we were able to give them so much more storage space. We were also able to really dial in on their style and just create a space that they really could relax in and just enjoy being in together in the evenings or throughout the day. Every time you walk into this room, I feel like it's just peaceful and calm. It's definitely become my favorite makeover of this series. I love all of the colors and all of the warm tones and all of the brightness that we've added into the space. And I'm so grateful to be able to give them more storage and just a lot more light, especially during the evening time, but also during the daytime as well. It's just become such a welcoming, peaceful room, and I could not love this space more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I also hope you love the series as well. Now we do have another series kind of in the works right now, but if you guys ever have any makeover ideas, I would love to hear them in the comments below. And also, before you go, make sure you're subscribed down below, and you've also gotten yourself entered into that giveaway we have going on. I cannot tell you enough, but I am just so grateful that you're here today. Make sure you stay tuned for the big reveal here in just a second, and I hope you guys are having the most amazing day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.
Always had a spot in the escapades and a suitcase for the getaways. And all along you were always down. Showed up and would hang around, singing loud, standing out in every crowd. And we're still here now. You've been with me all along, all along.
Close your eyes. Okay, just...
Are we gonna do it awkward again?
Yeah. All right, open your eyes.
It looks so good.
That's insane.
I want to cry. It looks so good. Oh my god. It looks so good. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That's awesome.
I'm so happy you guys love it. And your sign is perfect up
I know,
there.
it looks so good. I know I made it, but it looks so good up there. Never had like this nice of a bedroom.
Every time I've come in here, Dave has been sitting there.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, we should get him a chair.
I know, that's what I was like with the rocking chair. I'm like, but it's just so big, like I don't want it in here. But I know, Dave sits over there a lot. It's so much brighter in here too.
It's amazing how you can take IKEA furniture and like change stuff like that,
a couple things.
and it makes it look so much more like high-end.
Yeah.
You've been with me all along, all along. Always on my side, you've never gone. You've been with me all along. And you've been holding on for so long. Where others would be gone, you stayed with me all along.
I wanna hear you say that you only want me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing my friend's laundry closet makeover. So I went ahead and took her small laundry closet space and we completely transformed it into a new space that was a lot more functional and also more aesthetically pleasing. So the first thing that we wanted to do was make sure that the colors we chose were really bright. So we chose to use a lot of white colors, a lot of greenery, and then we also painted a few things to make them the dark brown color that you're seeing here. And that way it would give the space a little bit of contrast and just that nice little pop that it needs.
Slipping bright nights, getting me high on life. It's a night
Next, we used some shelves that we got from IKEA, and we had painted those white as well, and we just had her husband hang these up on the wall really easily with some anchors and screws. And then after that, we had him add a shelf onto the wall that was also painted white, and this is similar to the one that my husband made in our laundry room. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it up above, but basically it's just a piece of board that you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's, and then cut it down to size to fit your space. And then you just put some wooden brackets up on the wall and then screw those into some studs and then secure your board on top of that. And the reason for adding this extra shelf is to give a lot more useful space down low where it's a lot easier to reach, and you can also decorate this little shelf, making this space somewhere that you actually enjoy coming into.
By the ocean waves.
Once we had the shelves put in place, I just went ahead into the laundry closet and started pulling everything out so that we could start out with a new clean space.
We've got catching up to do. There's a glow about you. This is a perfect night to catch a cold.
And then next we just needed to wipe everything down. So I'm just using my Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose cleaner. I do have a link down below in the description box if you want to check that out and get some free goodies when you order from Grove Collaborative. That is where I get almost all of my cleaners. So I will just have that link down in the description box if you want to check it out. Everything is looking pretty good in here so far. I feel like we've added a lot of extra space in here just by adding the side shelves and this large shelf across the back. However, I felt that the built-in shelves that they already had in here just did not look quite right when it was painted the same color as the wall. I felt like it didn't pop at all, and so we decided to go ahead and just paint this the bright white to match the rest of the shelves. And as you can see, we didn't take the time to tape everything off, but this is a really quick hack that I've used in the past. You just take one of the flyers that you get in the mail with that cardstock paper. You can actually just push that up to the wall and then just paint along the wall that way, and it actually does pretty amazing keeping the paint from getting onto your wall.
I'm running out of time.
Then once we were done painting and we had let that paint dry, I started bringing some decor pieces in, and the first thing that I wanted to incorporate into this laundry closet was this beautiful laundry sign that my friend made. This is the same kind that she actually made for my laundry closet and my pantry sign. I will leave it linked down below if you guys are interested in getting one too, but the easiest way that I've found to put anything up on your wall like this that's not crazy heavy, or if it's not going to be bearing a lot of weight, is just to go ahead and use Velcro command strips. These are my go-to for almost everything that is on my wall in my house. And then after that, we just started bringing everything else into the laundry closet that I had picked up and gathered to incorporate into this space. A lot of things in here I actually found at Walmart, and then a few things I found at Hobby Lobby, and then a few other things I actually just had around my house. So anytime I start decorating a practical space, I want to include practical solutions into that space. But at the same time, I also want to make them aesthetically pleasing, so I'm going to show you guys a few of the things that I used in this space to go ahead and do that.
And we don't need to do the thing.
So as you can see, I've put the boxes up in this little shelf, and the point of using these closed off dark brown boxes is to put things that don't look very aesthetically pleasing but that you still need in your laundry space. So anytime you have something that doesn't look nice, it's nice to put it into a bin that looks nice on the outside and that doesn't have openings so that you can't really see what's put inside. And then on the shelf, I just wanted to include a big pitcher that she would be able to put her laundry detergent in, along with 2 other glass bottles that she can put the 2 other types of detergent that she also uses in there. And that will keep this space both functional and also continuing to look clean and pretty to look at. Up top, we put in these wire baskets. I actually found these ones at Walmart, and I thought these would be really great so that she would be able to see what was in these baskets. So she's going to be putting extra things like toilet paper and paper towels, and then also some of her wax melts and vacuum attachments, just some things that she really likes to keep in her laundry room but that she doesn't access all the time. So that's why it wasn't a big deal to go ahead and put this up high and out of the way, but still conveniently located in an easy basket to pull down as she needed it. So as you can see, a lot of these things on the shelf are actually just really pretty to look at, but a few of them are very practical. So of course you have the items that are going to be holding the laundry detergent, and then off to the right in the very corner is just a little container that we are going to be adding some dryer sheets into. And then that little flower pot in the center area is actually going to be doubling as a trash can so that she can go ahead and just move the lint from her dryer into that flower pot. It's a really great option because of course, one, it looks very aesthetically pleasing, but two, it is also serving a practical purpose, and that way she doesn't have to bring the dryer lint all the way into the kitchen because she doesn't have room for an actual garbage can in there. So now that we have gone through the laundry closet and just put everything in place and just kind of seeing where we are going to place each item, we've pulled all the containers out and we are starting to fill them up with the items that she needs to store in her laundry closet. So as you can see, we are including wax warmers in here. We are putting extra paper towels and toilet paper. We are taking dryer sheets out of the box and putting them into a cute little container. And then we will move on to the liquids and start putting them in their glass jars as well.
Watch me rocking if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true love, true to love. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this.
So she actually did end up labeling these glass jars. She is also the person who makes my pantry labels. So she went ahead and added some labels onto these glass jars so she knew which one was what afterwards. But just for this video, we didn't end up having time to make those. So at this time they didn't have labels on them, but just know that now they do.
You better grab that tambourine. Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true love, true to love.
Next, once everything had been put into the correct containers, the last thing for us to do was just go ahead and put everything back into the laundry closet and make sure that everything works good and is practical for her to use and keep this space working well for her. We decided to go ahead and add a few of her extra Mrs. Meyer's products onto these little spice racks from IKEA, because before this she actually just had all of these stuck under her sink, and we thought because these are so pretty, they are really nice to actually go ahead and display in here. And then on the other shelf we included a few floral pieces along with her extra cleaners just to keep it looking aesthetically pleasing. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope this gave you some new inspiration if you have a small laundry space or if you have a laundry closet and you feel like you really can't do a whole lot with it. I know that these smaller spaces can be a little bit challenging to deal with, but I just wanted to make this video and show you guys that you really do have so many options, and you can make a really small space that does not seem inviting, that does not seem like it has a lot of options, and you can make that space completely functional, just as functional as a full-size laundry room. And you can also make it a space that you really enjoy going into and just looking at. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe down below if you are not already, and also head over to Instagram and follow me over there, and I will see you guys in my next one.